as we are going to see FlushDonkey be on the play here. Left side of the screen, an instant keep right there. Didn't even really have to think about it. Saw one drop, saw two drops, said, yep, that's good enough for me, and is going to be on the play. So FlushDonkey has a solid start here.
And it looks like Andre's going to be throwing it back, so... And that's why we play the games. Like, you never know. Like, it can, on paper, something can be really favored, but then it just doesn't matter. Sometimes somebody just curves out and beats the crap out of you.
It's not just rock, paper, scissors. There's a little bit more to it, just a touch. And did they throw it back twice? Is that a to 5? We obviously can't see. We see exactly what you guys see right there. So just a 6. Still thinking about that right now. Thinking about sending the Talia back, keeping this 2-laner that doesn't look bad. Aspirant, double Aspirant is huge. Like that card's just annoying. Oh?
Yeah, I think you would have to keep the double Aspirant. I don't think Talia matters enough in this matchup. It's a solid card. It's fine. But, like, it's not something where you're like, oh, I need to grow out of control here.
100% agree. Gonna start with the Wolf. And look I love FlushDonkey. Look at hovering the forest right away. Says, let me play, let me play, let me play, let me play. Just yearning to be able to get something on the board. That's gonna hurt though. 1-1. First strike. Misplay from FlushDonkey. That hurts.
If somebody do a punt counter on that one, that's not what you need to be seeing here.
Yeah, FlushDonkey sold a little bit right there, and the Aspirant coming down. That's gonna be big. And what can you do about the Alms right now? I mean, this just hurts. And despite being on the plane, despite having the better opener, and despite the opponent mulliganing to 6. FlushDonkey just doesn't have the answers for what and Andre Cantagalli's got right now.
And I think part of that was that they're so, fatigue plays a big part of this. Like, it's been 8 rounds, 7 rounds, 8, 9. This is their 10th match of the day. And you're so used to Ranger Clash just pumping your guy up, and you're just like, send him in. And it's like, but you didn't activate that one yet. So, rough beat there.
And Spellbinder just such a good card, so tough to fight through, and going to be able to take out one of these threats from FlushDonkey's hand. Going to go with the Uvenwald Ali. Like that decision a lot. Uvenwald is one of the cards that can give you some trouble at this point. Aspirant, Trigger. Put it on the Alms or put it on the Flyer? What do you think here?
Yeah, I think they're going to pump up them. They're trying to play some D there, because they do have some huge men you got to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely has a lot. And I like that. Playing with defense, the first strike just so good in trading. Has Sculptor of Winter in hand. Still just not a whole lot to do right now if you are on the side of FlushDonkey. You're just kind of waiting and crossing your fingers, hoping and praying like, man, I hope Andre doesn't have it, because he can start to put away this game pretty quickly. Thinks about it here. Has land to play, so could go with like Aspirant to kick things off. I mean, there's definitely decisions to be made. You want to be super mana efficient, or you just want to get the best card in your hand on the board.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you play out the or the adversary, you can still get the +1/+1, and then you're gonna pump up the other things, and you're gonna slightly get caught up. Oh no, they're just going for the face.
Yeah, they said hit that button, baby. We're going in, and rightfully so. I mean, old growth over the top, that's not going to be enough. You've got 4 in the air. That's going to turn into 5 from the Aspirant. And then you could get 6 with the second Aspirant. Swinging in here for 6. I mean, goes to 9. That's going to be game. Yeah, FlushDonkey going to find the concede button. Loses game number 1. Oh man, Josh calling people out. Single people are not allowed to eat steak. That's my conclusion from Josh.
You just don't go to the sit down where they keep bringing tea on the skewers and everything like that. Yeah, it gets a little awkward. They want to have a little too much conversation. You just sit there like, give me my meat, buddy. Like,
keep on. What are you pausing for?
Drop that on the plate.
Drop that on the plate. Drop that on the blight blade. Swinging in for 3 right here. So some damage early on. Has that 3/3 death touch. Here's the intrepid adversary. That's going to be able to trade pretty nicely with that. Coming on through another blight blade. But here are the fight spells. Get that on through, and not even a fight. That's just one-sided. And so great with the Juru blight blade. All of those effects, because they have death touch. Really, it just turns into a doom blade.
Yeah, so I don't know how much the super aggro, like eggs in the basket plan is going to go well against the deck with the apparitions and the Cathars. It seems like putting yourself under the gun, And I see the canopy came in, so maybe that's partly why they didn't put in the Redains. Is there where they thought their opponent was going to bring in the anti-flyer tech, and they're trying to leave them with a dead card.
well. If that was the case, then they read it very well. Can it be the last real card in hand for FlushDonkey here? They've got the land, and other than that, they're going to be drawn from the top of the deck here, Josh. So they kind of, as I said, put all their eggs in one basket, and they stumbled a little bit. Basket on the ground, eggshells everywhere, and you've got an empty board, and there's a mammoth. It's cool and all. It's gonna hit hard if you can find some lands, but it's not sticking around. Look at the opposition's hand.
Yeah, this
Cathar.
is they're not coming back from 16. The donkey, unfortunately, is settling for the 50. Like,
yeah, there it is. Cathar going to be able to scoop up that mammoth, and this just looks downhill from FlushDonkey for here. There's a land, not what you wanted to find. Turn that to a 4/3, crack in to establish some sort of clock, but the hand on the other side is just so good. I don't see it happening here. Andre Cantagalli really just bursts out to a quick lead.
yeah, if they would have drawn the land there, I think it would have been a legit scoop because they just dropped 2 things, and just end this.
I think the scoop may happen if you could see the opposition's hand. Not much the FlushDonkey can do, and the beat's coming on through. There's the Gavany Town Guard. Smart play. Just extend your board state a little bit. There's another land. Gonna play that one out. Crack in with the land of your own. There's the concede button. Andre Cantagalli will be our winner here for the GGtoor Standard Tournament. What a run they had. Played some tough opponents, played some great Magic, and they end up winning it all with this mono white aggro list.